Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful Thursday, June 19 recap. Steffy's phone call to Daphne triggers panic. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B recap for Thursday, June 19, reveals that a business meeting at Forrester Creations took a surprising turn when Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline Missinswood, played up the fragrance line's success. Steffy wanted an expansion and insisted on bringing Daphne Rose, Muriel Hilaire, back to Los Angeles. Hope Logan, Annika Noel, tried to steer Steffy away from the idea, but Steffy acted like the ring on Hope's finger would send a clear message to Daphne about who Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, chose. Carter reassured Hope as well, and ultimately had a private conversation with her. Since Carter was committed to Hope and doubted that Daphne would even return, he assured her that she had nothing to worry about. However, Hope still seemed concerned about Daphne coming back for Carter, and had a troubled expression as they hugged. Meanwhile, Steffy called Daphne, so B&B fans saw both ends of their phone conversation. After Steffy sang Daphne's praises over the new men's cologne she'd come up with, she pointed out that they had a PR problem. Steffy pushed Daphne to return to LA and help them launch the new fragrance, but Daphne suggested the scent would sell itself. When Steffy kept pushing, Daphne jokingly asked if this was blackmail. Steffy denied that, but she played up how she wanted her friend back and felt this would be good news from a business standpoint. There was some talk about Carter and his engagement to Hope, which Daphne seemed glum about. In the end, Daphne turned down Steffy's request and suggested she couldn't think about Carter. Unfortunately, Carter indeed invaded Daphne's thoughts later as she flashed through so many close moments they had together. At the Forrester mansion, Ridge Forrester, Thorsten Kaye, admitted to Taylor Hayes, Rebecca Budig, that Nick Marone, Jack Wagner, was back, and that he caught his half-brother talking to Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang. Since Ridge hated Nick like he hated Bill Spencer, Don Diamond, Taylor clearly thought Brooke was at the center of those feuds. Ridge denied that and suggested he didn't like them because they were egomaniacs. Although Ridge was entitled to his opinion, Taylor felt Brooke was entitled to her own, and that she could see Nick, even if that's not what Ridge wanted. Brooke was a grown woman who could take care of herself, so Taylor thought Ridge should accept it if they were finding their way back to each other. Ridge insisted that's not what was happening, but Taylor urged him to consider the possibility that it was. After Ridge claimed he'd be fine if that's what Brooke wanted, he insisted he didn't like Nick and never would. Ridge pulled Taylor into an embrace, but she looked nervous over his jealousy despite his denial of it. In the Forrester design office, Brooke gave Katie Logan, Heather Tom, updates on Nick's visit and how it may have given Ridge a push based on his reaction. Katie wondered if Brooke thought Ridge was jealous and asked questions about how it all went down. Brooke admitted that after Nick left, Ridge told her to stay away from him. Katie didn't think it was fair for Brooke to have to stay away from Nick when Ridge was back together with Taylor. Although Brooke acknowledged the possibility that maybe Ridge was just being protective, Katie picked up on what she was thinking and agreed that maybe he was jealous. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say things will remain complicated in Brooke's love life, so stay tuned for all the messes ahead. The morning sun barely broke through the heavy clouds over Los Angeles, and at Forrester Creations, tension hung thicker than the designer velvet draped across the showroom racks. Brooke Logan stood in front of the mirror in Ridge's office, adjusting the delicate gold pendant that once symbolized their forever love. Her fingers trembled slightly, not from nerves, but from the memory of last night's confrontation. "Ridge is slipping away again," she whispered to her reflection. "And this time, I might not be able to bring him back." Just then the door creaked open. "Talking to yourself again, Logan?" Ridge Forrester entered, his voice rougher than usual, as if he hadn't slept. His salt and pepper hair was tousled, and his jaw carried the shadow of an unshaven night. Brooke turned sharply. "Where were you last night?" "Working," Ridge lied. "At the guest house." "Alone?" she pushed. He didn't answer immediately. A shadow flickered across his face, a name unspoken, but Brooke knew it too well. Taylor. The silence confirmed it. Meanwhile, across town at the Cliff House, Taylor Hayes stared into her morning coffee. Steffy had already left to deal with a shipment emergency, leaving her mother alone with her thoughts and guilt. She hadn't planned on seeing Ridge last night. It was supposed to be dinner, closure, a toast to boundaries. But hours turned into whispers, and whispers into embraces. Nothing physical, she told herself, but emotional. That was a betrayal in itself. "I'm not doing this again," she muttered. "I promised Brooke. I promised myself." But the universe didn't care about promises. At Spencer Publications, Liam paced the floor, his phone in hand. His jaw clenched as he reread Hope's last message. "I need space. Don't come by the cabin tonight." His stomach churned. Space. After everything they'd fought for? In the corner office, Bill Spencer watched his son through the glass wall. He shook his head, sipping bourbon from a crystal glass. At 10 a.m., no less. "Love makes fools of us all," he grumbled before picking up his phone. "Katie. We need to talk. About Will. About us." Katie, across the city in her garden, blinked at the message. She hadn't heard from Bill in weeks, not since the Monaco trip, when he vanished for 3 days, only to return with that haunted look in his eyes. Elsewhere, at Forrester's design lab, Hope Logan pulled fabric swatches with more force than necessary. Her assistant, Luna, hesitated before speaking. "Hope, are you okay?" "I'm fine," Hope snapped, then softened. "I'm sorry. Just work stress." But Luna wasn't convinced. She'd heard the rumors about Hope and Thomas, the late nights, the mysterious trip to San Francisco that had nothing to do with fashion. And just then, like a conjured ghost, Thomas Forrester entered. Confident, calm, dangerous in the way only a reformed man can be, one who knows he walks the knife's edge of redemption. Hope. Thomas. Their eyes locked. The air shifted. "You didn't answer my call last night," he said, stepping closer. "I was with Beth. You weren't alone." Silence. "No," she admitted. Thomas nodded, not angry, not surprised. "He's losing you. You know it, but I won't push, not unless you want me to." Hope bit her lip. Everything about Thomas frightened her, not in the way he once did, but in the way a cliff frightens you right before you choose to jump. "I'm still married," she whispered. "And I still love you," he answered. Meanwhile, Steffi Forrester slammed her office door shut, startling the intern outside. "What do you mean the shipment is stuck in customs? This is our Paris showcase, not some trunk show in Van Nuys." Her phone buzzed. It was from Finn. "Emergency at the hospital." Sheila's name came up. Her blood froze. Sheila Carter. The name still echoed in her nightmares. She was locked up, or so they thought. But Sheila had 9 lives, and too many connections. "Tell Paris I'm on my way," she barked at the assistant. "But first, call security. Double it, no chances." Back at the hospital, Dr. John Finn Finnegan was poring over records. A patient under a false name had fingerprints that matched someone with sealed juvenile files. And the visitor log. A familiar name scribbled in messy cursive. D. Carter. Finn's gut told him everything his brain feared. Sheila had found a way to reach them again. He picked up his phone. "Steffi. It's not just a scare. She's moving again. Be ready." At Il Giardino, Deacon Sharp wiped his hands on a towel behind the bar. Ever since Sheila's arrest, his name had cooled in the tabloids, and the restaurant buzzed more with celebrity gossip than criminal undertones. But he never stopped watching, never stopped waiting. And then she appeared, not Sheila, but someone worse in some ways. "I heard you were looking for investors," said the woman in sunglasses. "Think of me as family."